Okay, this is Zoom video for December the 3rd, right after Thanksgiving. Let's see if everything is working here. Looks like I can write on the screen. Basically, what we're going to do is talk about what to do in preparing for the final exam, and then we're going to work for some problems and then entertain any questions. I think the first thing you need to do is look at anything that you missed on tests 1 through 4 and learn how to work those problems that you missed. And if you still have issues with them, give me a call, text me, or email me, and I'll be happy to help you work the problem. Also know how to work any missed homework problems. Now, I think you already know that we have a practice final exam on D2L. Have you seen that, Destiny?
Yes, sir.
Have you started working it yet?
No, sir.
Now, you will get, I believe, 4 tries at it, so you could actually go through once and take a look at it, and then go through again and again and again. The important thing about this is can add points to your final exam grade.
Okay.
It will, if you make at least 90 on the exam, you'll get 3 points added to the final exam. 80, you add 2, and 70, you add 1. And it's going to be sort of similar to the final exam itself, and it'll be multiple choice. The other thing to do is I've got a second version of the practice final exam on my website, and you just click on this. I think you got the email from me, and you look at, and this is on D2L also.
Yes, sir.
So you can find the practice final exam. And if you have questions on that one, you can see every one of the problems worked on this video here that you can click on. The other thing to do is participate or either watch the Zoom video conference, which we have today at 1, and then on Monday, next Monday, December the 9th, we will have another one. I'd like to request.
You say on Monday?
On Monday.
Okay.
Will that be a problem?
Oh, no, sir. I was just trying to make sure, I mark it so I can remember.
Yeah, it's just that the final exam will be available to be taken on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I thought go ahead and Monday have our last conference. And send questions. If there are problems you're having trouble working, send questions.
Okay.
And one of the things I'd like to note is that if you pass the final, you'll pass the course, independent of what your grade is going into it. And it's a pretty comprehensive final. If you look at the final practice, you will see that it covers basically everything we've covered. And if you do well on it, you'll pass the final. You'll pass the course. I've attached a final exam test chart, which I'll show you in a moment. Be sure you know where your final exam will be held. And also have a formula sheet that will be attached to the final exam. If you take, it'll be a paper copy if you take it in the ACE testing centers, And those who take the exam on ProctorU should print it out and have it with you during the exam. Those who are taking it on ProctorU need to sign up with ProctorU for the 2-hour period of your choice during the 72-hour period on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Now, if you're taking it on D2L, when the test starts, Proctor will tell you to go to D2L quiz section and pick one challenge and one final exam. And the proctor will enter the password, and it'll be multiple choice, and you should take scratch paper with you during the test. Now,
Okay.
here is test chart, which you already seen. For you who are going to Swainsboro, go to the base, to the library, and Mr. Jeffrey Walter. Destiny, could you turn your audio off?
Okay.
Okay. I think I hear the car. And if you need to say something, of course, bring it back. And then if you're going to Statesboro, go to the Statesboro campus, report to the front desk, and Mr. Ben Johnson will be there.
Did I schedule mine for the 11th or the 12th?
Say that again.
Did I schedule mine for the 11th or the 12th?
You got it on the 12th p.m. That's what we sent to the testing center.
Is it too late to change it to the 11th?
You want to do it on the 11th?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Send me an email to remind me, because this has already been agreed to with the testing centers.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Okay. And the other thing, any practicing you do, you should practice with using this formula sheet you see here, which basically has all the formulas we've had during the semester. It also has a summary of the normal distribution. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Or Destiny, do you have any questions about the final or anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to work some problems. And these are really basically from the practice file. Number 1, we want to identify with braces the members of the set that are positive integer powers of 3. So you start thinking about that. The power of 3 with a positive integer, the first one would be 3 to the first power. The next one would be 3 to the second power, 3 to the third, 3 to the fourth, etc. And notice that that is 3, 9, 27, 81, etc. And that is C. Problem 2 is on Venn diagrams, and the diagram describes the types of cookies in a bakery used to determine how many cookies have neither chocolate chip nor walnut. Now this is it's pretty simple. The way this is done, what is outside of the 2 circles are all the other kinds of cookies. and they're the ones that are not chocolate chip or walnut. So the answer is just 7. Now, this problem could have been posed in another way. It could have been said that there are 45 types of cookies. And not tell you this, that there are 7 that are not these. And then you would just add up these 3 to be 15, 10, and 13, which adds up to, let's see, 38. And then since there are 45 total types, you would subtract 38 and come up with a 7. I think that's the way it was done in another problem. This one, you hardly even have to think about it. That the answer is right there on the Venn diagram. Number 3 is to write the negation of the proposition. And the proposition asserts that no 5th graders play soccer. It's pretty easy to see that the first thing you would do to negate that is to prove that at least one 5th grader plays soccer. And so the answer is going to be D. Obviously, B is not it. And no 5th grader does not play soccer is not even good English. And if you could prove that all 5th graders play soccer, that would negate that. But the very simplest way to negate it is to show that there at least one 5th grader plays soccer. Here we're making a truth table for R and not S. Just a second, I'm going to turn my screen so I can write on it a little better. Can you still hear me, Destiny?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The easiest way to keep this straight is to go ahead and do R and then not S. And then you just put down the T, T, F, F. And the not S, here the S, the not S would be F, F, let's see, F, I'm sorry, F, true, F, true, and then R and not S. It will only be true if both of them are true, so that'll be F. Here, both of them are true, so that would be true. And the next two would be F and F. So this is the answer, and I believe that's answer C, R and not S. Decide whether the argument is inductive or deductive. You notice that the last four answers were false. Therefore, the next one will be false. That is inductive. What you have is just some instances of the last four being false. Just because they were false doesn't necessarily prove anything scientifically, but you might say, well, maybe that would be the best bet. Anyway, it's an inductive argument based on looking at what's happened before. Number 7, a die with 6 sides is rolled. What's the probability of rolling a number less than 5? Well, you need to look at the possibilities. 6-sided die, you can get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And the ones that satisfy being less than 4 are 4 possibilities. And then there are 2 possibilities that are 5 and 6. So the probability that the number is less than 5 would be 4 out of 6 equal 2/3. Answer D. Number 8, we want to decide whether the events A and B are independent. What you're doing is rolling a die twice. Event A is the sum of the 2 rolls is 8. And event B is the first roll comes up 3. The first thing you notice is that event A depends on event B, where you're told that the first roll is 3. If you didn't know that, then the probability that you would calculate would be different, but you're told that the first roll comes up with 3. So these 2 events are not independent. Number 14 is to figure out which type of sampling you're using, whether it's simple, random, stratified, systematic, or convenience. Basically, our market researcher selects 500 people from each of 10 cities. So he's studying 10 cities, and he selects 500 from each of them. He's not neglecting any of them, so he's using what is called stratified sampling. Pretty simple one. The eye color, women playing softball, is qualitative. Number 18, we have some data here, and we want to find the mode for the given sample data. Well, the mode happens to be a data point or data points that are more prevalent than any of the others. Well, you notice, first of all, just looking at these, you see 39 3 times, and you don't see any other number that many times. So the mode is 39. If there had been one other number here, another 49, then you would have said 39 and 49 are the mode. But in this case, the mode is 39. Number 19 is pretty simple. You're trying to figure out what the monthly cost is for your expenses. This person pays $350 a month for food. So for food, $350 per month. And so in a year, it would be $4,200. For health insurance, it's $1,700 semi-annually. So that would be $3,400 per year. And then car insurance is $700 per year. So over here, we would just put $700 and add everything up and get $8,300 for the whole year. So monthly, it'd be $8,300 divided by 12 equals $691.67. Round that off to $692 to the nearest dollar, which is answer A. Number 20 and 21 is going back to the first lessons we had this semester. It's on simple interest. You invest $10,000 in an account that pays simple interest of 3% for 7 years. The interest formula is principal times the rate times the time. In this case, the principal is $10,000. The rate is 0.03. Always remember to put this in decimal form, and then the time is 7 years, and that equals $2,100. Number 21 is just like it, except now you've got $13,000 times the rate, 0.02 times 17, which is $4,420, answer D. Notice I'm not doing every one of these. Some of the others were done like in the last Zoom video conference. So you can go there and look at the answers there. Also, there is a video that's on the website that works all of these one after the other. Number 24, population of a town has an initial population of 56,644. It's got a growth rate of 2.6%. per year, come up with a formula of the form Q equal Q sub 0 times 1 plus R to the T power. Well, Q0 would be the initial population, which is 56,644. This is exponential growth, and R is 0.026. So the growth factor is 1 plus R equal 1.026. And so Q is equal to 56,644 times 1.026 to the power T. And it doesn't ask you to get any particular population at any time. If you wanted it at a certain time, say 10 years from now, you would put 10 there and calculate this and get the population. So the answer is C. Now we have conditional propositions like if P then Q, we want to create a conditional proposition for this particular statement, which says attending practice is necessary for staying on the team. Well, the answer to that is if you stay on the team, then you must attend practice. That is, if you want to stay on the team, you must attend practice. So P is if you want to stay on the team, and Q, you must attend practice. You have another Venn diagram, describes the optional features by new telephone customers in a certain region. Use it to determine how many customers ordered call waiting. Well, it's pretty obvious looking at the Venn diagram that the call waiting circle is 40 and 36, or 76. So the answer is A. Determine whether the argument is inductive or deductive. The statement is every coach must know his sport well. Steve Spurrier is a football coach, so Steve Spurrier must know football well. Well, this is a deductive argument because we know really from understanding football well or a sport well that every coach must know his sport well. That's a known fact. And if we know that Steve Spurrier is a football coach, he must know football well. So this is a deductive argument. Number 29, we're looking at a study described below. Identify the population parameter. Hello? Did you say something, Destiny? Destiny, are you still there?
No, sir, I didn't say anything.
Okay, that's fine. A bank manager wants to know the average amount of time customers of his bank have to wait in line. 300 customers were polled and asked their average wait time at the bank. 27 of the 300 people were extremely dissatisfied with the amount of time they had to wait in line in recent months. What is the population parameter? The parameter has to do with the data he's collecting, the information he wants to know. So he's looking at the average wait time for all of his customers. So he's not looking at all the customers of the bank. He's looking at the average wait time. And he's not looking at the 300 customers poll. He's trying to figure out the average wait time for all his customers. So this is the answer right here, D. Although it mentions the percentage of dissatisfied customers, it's obvious from the statements here that the average wait time for all the bank's customers is the population parameter. Now, we're putting together a pie chart. We're given information the favorite food for various people. Chinese 230, Indian 150, Mexican 240, and Thai food 180. To do a pie chart, you certainly need to know the total number you're talking about. In other words, how big is the pie? And you add those up and it's 800. So for Chinese, it's 230 over 800, which is 0.2875, or 28.75%. And if you round it off, it'd be 29%. Notice it looks like the answer is going to be down here, although let's go ahead and confirm at least some of the other numbers. Chinese 29, 30, 230, 20. So it looks like the answer is B. For Indian, let's go ahead and confirm that. It'd be 150 over 800, which is 0.1875, or 18.75%. Rounded off to 19%. And that's what you see for Indian here. And if you go and do all the other two, you'll see the Thai is 23% and the Mexican is 30%. Now, we've got some data here for a new business. We had the monthly net gains of these numbers here, and you want to find the median. I would recommend on the test to put in the calculator. Because if there are a lot of numbers, if the number of numbers here is not so great, you couldn't put these in order and get the median, but you could probably put them in your calculator faster. So I'm going to bring up the calculator, assuming I can put them in without making an error. I'm going to clear L1. I'm going to put the data in 62, 57, 1876. 38, 87, 70, 58, 77, 61, 35, 19, 25, 20, 84, 38, 46, 62. If you see me making a mistake, let me know. 47, 65, enter. So we got all 10. Now we would pick second data, which gives us statistics, and do variable statistics. Hit calc, and now we get all the data information. We need to find the median. And if I didn't make a mistake, the median is 47, 13, 50, which is, this is the answer. Now you could have put in order, and you would have found that 46, 62 was halfway there, and the next one was 47, 65 was, so there are 5 data points on the right, 5 on the left, and so the median would be 1/2 of 46, 62 plus 47, 65. Equals 47, 13, 50. And if you don't get one of these, you can always put it back in your calculator, check your work. Now, number 32, we want to do the 5 number summary for the given data. Here again, I'm going to bring up I'm going to clear L1. And now I'm going to put the data in, and we'll get the 5 number summary. So 690, 606, 813, 639, 728, 584, 481, 630, 537, 665, 685, 466, 561, 787, 509, 826. And that's the 16 data points. Now let's check. We got everything incorrect. I got everything incorrectly. Let's go second data. We want to pick 1. We're doing L1. Now we want to calculate. And this should now give us the answer. Let's go and look at the minimum. The minimum is 466. Quartile 1 is 549. It looks like we're zeroing in on D here. Median 634.5. Third quartile is 709. And the max is 826. So it looks like in this particular case, I got all the numbers incorrectly. And so the 5-number summary is D. A restaurant offers 3-course meals with 3 types of salads, 7 different main courses, and 6 different desserts. How many different 3-course meals could be ordered? That's just going to be 3 times 7 times 6 equal 126. We want to write an equation for the linear function and use it to answer the given questions. The high school pool record for the 100-yard freestyle was 47.3 in 1990. Assume that the record falls at a constant rate of 0.04 seconds per year. What does the model predict for the record in 2009? Well, the record starting in 1990 is 47.3. And it goes down by 0.04 seconds per year. So the equation for R, the record would be 47.3 minus 0.04 t. Obviously, the slope of this line is 0.04. So we also want to find out when does the model predict the record will be in 2009. R in 2009, T would be 19 years. So it'd be 47.3 minus 0.04 times 19 equal 46.54. So the record will go down to 46.454 in 2009. So that answer is B. The equation for the record and what the record will be in that year. Here's a problem from one of our tests. This is one of the particular problems on the test. The current population of Pittsburgh is 2,700. If the population decreases at the rate of 15.3% each year, what will the student population be in 4 years? We want to write a growth model for the future population. Well, the population would be the starting population times 1 plus R to the X power, or RT, it doesn't really matter. The R, since it's decreasing, it's going to be minus 0.153. And the initial population, of course, is 2,700. 1 plus r is 1 minus 0.153 to the x power is equal to 2,700. 1 minus 0.153 is 0.847 to the x power. So this is the equation, and the population when x is equal 4 years is going to be 2,700 times 0.847 to the 4th power. Put that in your calculator and you get 1389.62 to the 2 decimal places. And that's what you would put here. Number 11 on one of the tests, it's about a vehicle depreciation from $25,000 when you first buy it. It depreciates at a constant rate of 6%. Well, the value is going to be the initial value, say V0 times 1 plus r to the power t. R in this case is minus 0.06. So that is going to be 25,000 times 1 minus 0.06 to the power t is equal to 25,000 times 0.94t. V at 13 years is going to be 25,000 times 0.94 to the 13th power. You put that in your calculator and you get 11,184.127. And to the nearest dollar, it's $11,184. Okay, the next one is a problem calculating the odds. You have the probability of the Seattle Mariners winning the World Series is 2 out of 30. We want to know what are the odds of them winning the World Series, the probability of them not winning, and what are the odds of the Mariners not winning. Well, we know that the odds equal the probability of winning to the probability of not winning. Probability of winning, we're told, is 2 out of 30. Probability of not winning is equal to 1 minus 2 out of 30 equals 28 out of 30. Now, since they asked us for the probability of not winning, we're going to reduce a 28 over 30 to 14/15. And that's what goes right here. Now, the odds for winning is going to be the probability of winning, which is 2 out of 30, divided by the probability of not winning, which is 28 out of 30, which is 2 out of 30. When you divide by a fraction, you invert it and multiply. And so you get the odds are 2 to 28. And so this 2 to 28 are the odds. And obviously the odds of not winning it's just going to be 28 to 2. Another question we've seen on a test before, giving a test to a group of students, the grades and the gender are summarized below. One student is chosen at random. Find the probability that the student was male or got a C. We're looking at the total males. We have 35. And then or got a C. There are 5 females that got a C, in addition to the 35 males. So that's a total of 40 that either were male or got a C. So the total number in the population is 65. So the probability is equal to 40 over 65, which is 0.615 to 3 decimal places. And the last problem we're going to work is an odds problem. We got a bag contains 3 gold marbles, 9 silver, 22 black. You play a game. If you draw a gold, you get $4. A silver, you get $3. If it's black, you lose $1. So let's calculate the expected value if you play the game. You need to write down the outcomes, all of the outcomes. Its value and its probability. If you get a gold, the value is $4. Its probability is you have, let's count up all the marbles, the total marbles. If you add them all up, is 34. So the probability of getting a gold is 3 out of 34. Silver, you win $3, and the probability is 9 out of 34. And if you draw a black marble, you lose $1. And the probability of that, since there are 22 black, would be 22 out of 34. So the expected value is, we got to multiply all of these together. 4 times 3 over 34 plus 3 times 9 over 34 minus 1 times 22 over 34. So let's put all this over 34. That would be 12 34ths plus 27 34ths minus 22 34ths equals 17 over 34, which is exactly 50 cents. So whoever is paying you this is going to be losing money, because it's expected loss every time somebody plays. It's going to be 50 cents. So that are the ones we're going to be looking at. Next Monday, we'll look at some other problems, and I invite people to send me problems that you'd like to see worked. Destiny, do you have any questions? Destiny? Okay, well, I'm going to end.
Professor Brown.
Yes, there you are.
This is Miranda. I don't have any questions, but I did want to let you know that I've been here since 1:05.
Okay, that's fine.
But I really,
Okay,
I appreciate the video.
okay. Okay, I'll put it up. You want to take another look at it. I'm also going to be sending notes out, and there'll be notes, really some things that I've written on the problems themselves. Okay.
Okay. Well,
You have a good Thanksgiving.
look good.
Okay. So Destiny, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you for attending. I'll put this up for everybody else to see. Let's see. I'm going to end the meeting.